Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today, and welcome back to our Moncton Miist franchise mode. And yeah, let's get right into this one. So today, we're going to be simming through what I believe to be year number 4 now, and I'm quite excited for it because we definitely have the best team we've ever had here, and it's a pretty crazy team, but there's also some issues we're going to have to face come in the next few seasons. So, first of all, let's go take a look at our record book. This is something I don't think I did in the last episode that I want to do. So let's go take a look at what our team looks like. So points, our all-time point leader is Rupe Hintz with 250. McKinnon's been here for one season and he already has 105. So, at this rate, McKinnon could definitely pass that. And then there's still quite a few players on our team that have played 4 seasons with us. Rupe Hintz also has the most assists on our team. Again, quite a few players that have played the most or played a lot of games with us as well. Most penalty minutes is currently to Anthony Cirelli. Most shutouts currently are Casey DeSmith. Most wins are currently Casey DeSmith, but all-time UC Saros with 12 shutouts and 57 wins. And then Rupe Hintz is leading the way with goals. So obviously, Rupe Hintz has been a pretty big part to this team, leading in goals, assists, and points right now. That'll definitely change. Obviously, McKinnon had like 45 goals this past season with us, so he hits 50. He'll pretty much be tied with Rupe Hintz, depending on how many hints gets this year. So, one thing I want to do before we really get into this episode is trade away Casey DeSmith. Obviously, I literally was just saying about how he was leading for us, but we have a lot of goalies right now. So we've got DiPietro, who's going to be our starter, and I mean nothing against Casey DeSmith, but I really want Mads Søgaard in the NHL. I know he's listed as a minor starter, but I want Ranger and Alberts playing in the AHL because, this Vic Ranger guy could be a beast for us. Like, he's on his ELC. I just signed him. He's a 75 at 20. Like, this guy could be really, really good, and I'm really hoping he will be. Probably our future goalie. So, Casey DeSmith, he is on an expiring deal already, and I checked off camera to see if there was any trade offers for him, which there wasn't. So, I'm going to just take a look around the league and see who actually needs a goalie. Because I didn't do that off camera, so I might as well do that now. So who actually needs a goalie, not a backup? A backup, we could go to Chicago or Colorado, but I want to see if there's anyone in the league that actually just doesn't have a good goalie, where, adding this 81 overall Casey DeSmith could help them out, but it looks like everyone actually has a set starter. Okay, wow, Carey Price down to an 80 overall. Damn. He fell off fast. You can tell, but it looks like it's kind of going that way already. Sorry, Canadians fans, but it's true. New Jersey could use help. That's for sure. There's actually a lot of teams with decent goalies, which I'm very surprised about because normally the AI, if they don't have a goalie, excuse me, if they don't have a goalie, they'll just not sign one, and they'll have like 278 overalls or something. But like I said, it's most of the league has goalies, so we can go back to Montreal, but then they'd have 3 goalies. So I think I'm just gonna go back to Colorado, or actually there was a team after Montreal that, maybe that, maybe we could do. Well, no, Shesterkin can carry the load so much. Maybe we'll do New Jersey. They have Ranta, obviously, a former goalie of ours, but yeah, I think we'll just go to New Jersey and we'll try to take away a draft pick from them. Can we get a 6th? Just kidding, New Jersey actually can't carry that cap. So, what about Colorado? They can't either, neither can Chicago. So, I guess we gotta actually find a team that can hold the cap that also doesn't have. You know what, that works. Minnesota is fine. So let's get a draft pick for Minnesota. I doubt we'll be able to get a 5th, but maybe. Yeah, no. I'll probably just be able to get a 7th or something. So let's see if we can take away their 7th. We can't, which means we'd actually have to give up a pick. Can we give up our 7th then? Nope. All right. Sorry, alarms. Or fire truck going right by my house. I live right beside a fire station, so okay. I'm really like I don't want to have to give up a 6 to do this. Whatever. The chances are I'm gonna package all 3 of my 7ths and move up in the draft because I would like to have. I would like to try and get a 2nd or a 3rd, but I just don't think that's happening this year, unfortunately. So there we go, guys. That is the trade I wanted to make. And let's go and take a look at the lines here that I made for you guys. So our top line is going to be Ryan Donato, Nathan MacKinnon, and Anthony Mantha, which is what we ended off the season with last year. And I think if these 3 are playing together, just depending, like, if they play anything, like, alright, sorry about that, guys, but as I was saying, this is what our team is going to look like. So obviously, our first line last season, which was those 3, after we made the trade for Mantha, was pretty incredible, so I'm hoping they'll do the same this year. Our second line is now Rupe Hintz with Ryan Strome and Petri Pillman, which I'm very excited about. Obviously, Petri Pillman is listed as a 3rd liner right now, which is kind of surprising, and Terrence Cross is also listed as a 3rd liner. I would like to put Terrence Cross higher in the lineup, but I just don't have the room for him. And then that makes our 3rd line Liam Foudy, Anthony Cirelli, and Terrence Cross. So, pretty good 3rd line. And our 4th line is Morgan Frost, Isaac Ratcliffe, and Jordan Kyrou. So again, a pretty good 4th line as well. Defensively, we have Brady Shea with Colton Parayko, Lucas Johansson with Brendan Gooley, and then Philip Broberg with Brett Pesce. So again, could probably have a better NHLer than Philip Broberg, but I want him in the NHL this year. So a quick look at the special teams. I'm going to go over the power play for a sec because we don't have any defensemen on the penalty or on the power play except for Brady Shea. I just don't think it's worth it. We have so much offensive talent. I think we should really just overflow it. So a quick look at all the special teams. I'll let you guys. You guys can pause the video if you want to take a look at that, but it's not too big of an issue, really. I mean, I'm not too worried about them, but yeah, and then obviously the goalies are going to be Michael DiPietro with Matt Sogard, so I'm excited to see how they do this year. And then down in the AHL, we've got Nikita Denisov, who could be making in the NHL lineup next season, with Matej Makar and Belsers. Then we've got Hansen, Lisson, and Wanvig. Then we have Kozlov, Howell, and Spacek, and then Hervin, Korolev, and Salmon. And defensively, we have Leonard Lindsay and Stephen Peckham, 2 really good prospects of ours that are playing on the top pair. Then we have Jeremy Waugh with Nazir Lockhart, who I think is he's a 2-way, but I was going to say Jeremy Waugh is obviously an offensive defenseman, so he'll put up points for us pretty much no matter what. And then Demetrius Ludwig and Brendan Stevenson on the 3rd pair. And the goalies, like I said, Vic Ranger and Ken Alberts, which I'm extremely excited to see how they do. So let's go through it. Let's see what happens here, guys. I'm not too sure how this season is going to go. I'm not even going to pay attention to the preseason. We're just going to sim the first month of hockey, and we'll see how it goes. So, Stevenson for Gavrikov, no thank you. Don't really plan on making any trades as of right now, but if something comes to fruition, then maybe, but I really have absolutely no plans of making any trades unless something major happens. But I really do think this is going to be the team that puts us in the playoffs. I mean, we could obviously use some upgrades in the goalie pairings and defensively, but I still think this team is good enough to make the playoffs. So here we go, 9-3 win in the 3rd game of the season over the Ottawa Senators, but currently 2-2-0, and I'm a little nervous. Obviously we've failed to make the playoffs every year as a team, and we are heading into what is year number 4 or 5, I believe, for us. So I'd really like to be able to finally make the jump into the playoffs, as we are currently 6-3-0 in our first 9 games, so not too bad. Obviously McKinnon leading the way, as you'd expect, and then let's head to the new year, I guess. Let's see where we'll be at come New Year's time. And yeah, I mean, I really do have faith in this team. as we go 6-4-0 in the first 10 games of the season, but I think this is the team that can really cement us as a good team. It's just, can we win more than we lose? Because we lose a lot of games, and over these past few years, we've had the issues of losing too many games in a row. Just like this, we're on a 3-game losing streak, and we had a really good record of, I think, 9-4-0, and now we're on a 4-game losing streak. Thankfully, we end that over the Anaheim Ducks, but we were 1 goal away from going on now on a 6-game losing streak, and we are still losing 11-10-0 right now. I don't know what it is. We're a 500 team once again, but thankfully we're actually in a playoff spot this time at least. We just need to win enough games to be competitive in our division, because our division has just been ridiculous over the past like 3 seasons. Like, we've just had so much competition. 14 points from first to last in our division, which is just crazy. And now we're on a bit of a win streak, which is really good, pushing our record to 18-11-0. I say that and we lose, but it's all right. Now on a 2-game losing streak. See, it's okay if we go on a losing streak that's like less than 2 games. Like, I'm okay with that. But when we go on multiple game losing streaks all the time, like pretty much every week, or like every 2 or 3 weeks, we'd be going on a losing streak of like 3 to 6 games in the past 2 seasons. So it's looking like it's better this year. McKinnon currently leading the way with 42 points in 36 games. We are 20-15-1, which is a playoff position in the league, or in our division right now, which is great. So let's just take a quick look at the stats here on the new year, or on the first day of the new year. So Rupa Hintz, also a point per game. Ryan Strome, also a point per game. So both of our top lines are doing great. Terrence Cross is having a great. I mean, Anthony Mantha, not doing as good as I had hoped, but he's still doing good. But like our third line, Cirelli and Cross, they're doing great. Our second line in Pillman, Strome, and Hintz are all doing great. And then our top line in Donato and McKinnon are obviously doing great. Having 3 point per game players is pretty crazy. And obviously, looking at our goals, we've got McKinnon with 23, Pillman probably on pace for 30 to 40, which is pretty crazy already. Rupe Hintz, Terrence Cross, Ryan Strome, Anthony Mantha. We could have a few 20-goal scorers this year, so I'm excited about that. And what about defensively? Colton Parayko is currently leading the way, which is good. He's right at halfway right now, which is good. I have Brady Shea on the power play. He only has 2 power play points, so I don't know if our power play is just not doing anything. Let's go just take a look, actually. I mean, McKinnon has 14 power play points. Like, I'm assuming he's just not getting points. There's just so much talent on the power plays, so understandable. But it looks like everyone will probably hit around the 15 to 20 point mark this season, which is very nice to see. Hopefully Parayko can stay around that 35 to 40 point range. Hopefully Shea can hit 30 again. And then goaltending. Goaltending is the issue. That explains why we're losing. Those are some really bad stats out of those 2 goalies, and I don't want to be that team that is always filtering through goalies. But I mean, as of right now, like, that's just how it's been, because we just have had no success with our goalies, and I really don't know the reason why. So let's sim to the first of what was it? Was that March, I think? The deadline is late this year. It's in March, so we'll sim to the day before the deadline, and we'll see where we're at come that time, and whether or see what the plan is, I guess, for the deadline this year. But hopefully we'll be listed as a buyer this time. Although, like I said, I don't plan on making any trades unless there's like a sick goalie on like a 1-year deal, maybe. But even then, still, I don't really plan on making a trade. We've obviously got a decent record. We're still in 3rd in our division, which I can't complain about. And there goes the All-Star break, 26-18-4, which is pretty good, and hopefully a good needed break for us where we can continue to get some wins. And I mean, I think we're on a 3 or 4 game win streak right now. We lose 2 in a row too badly. Um, 3 in a row, but at least we get a point in that one. Just get a win over here, or get a win here over the Kings. 4-game losing streak, which isn't good. 5-game losing streak. Please win a game. Thank you. See, that one hurts. A 5-game losing streak, we only got 1 point. Like, we really need to get as many points as we possibly can, just because our division is so competitive. Like, I don't know, we just need to make sure that we are winning games. And then here we are, last game before the deadline. 35, 22, and 5, which is a really, really good record. We're second in our division, which is nice. We're only a few points away from first, but we're also a few points away from third. And we're actually in like the top 8 of the league right now, which is pretty good. Nathan MacKinnon looks like he could be on pace for 50 goals this season, which of course would be great. 68 points for him, and now he's the only point per game player on the team, but still can't complain. Terrence Cross, holy shit. Terrence Cross is an 87. Wait, Pillman's still at 84. Okay, let's make that change really quick. Holy shit, Terrence Cross is an 87. All right, well, yeah, you know what? That definitely helps as well, I'm sure. We might as well make that change. I mean, Mantha, how many points is that? 44. What if, obviously Cross has 53 points right now. What if we actually make that change? Ooh, you know what? Let's try it. Let's put Terrence Cross on that top line with MacKinnon and Donato. Then our second line will be, will be Hintstrom and Mantha. And then our fourth line of our third line of Foodie, Sorelli, and Pillman. I mean, if that really screws things up, we'll change it, but I'm pretty happy about that. How is Broberg doing so far? 10 points, which isn't too bad, I guess. Goaltending, still pretty poor, but they've both actually gotten better stats, which is nice. So, I mean, yeah, guys, let's sim to the deadline. I don't think I'm going to make any trades. We might just sim all the way through. I mean, we'll be listed as a buyer, but I don't have any plans of making any trades. Zach Werenski would be cool. There's actually this franchise player who just isn't playing. That's nice. Andre Kasha, who's an 86. Sammy Blaze, who's also an 86. Vitaly Krasov, also an 86. You see the young guns really growing. But apparently we're interested in Evgeny Malkin. I don't know how that makes any sense, but alright. I mean, there's no goalies here, but obviously going for a big defenseman such as Zach Werenski or Aaron Ekblad would be sick. Werenski actually has less value for whatever reason. Maybe it's just because of his contract, but 28 points, 43 points for Ekblad. I mean, getting a defenseman of that caliber would be sick, but we just don't have the assets for that. And I don't really think that's worth the trade. Trade alert, though. Calgary have traded Madison Bowey, Alex Galchenyuk to Nashville in exchange for a first-rounder and 2 prospects. So, again, I'm not too worried about this. Our team is good, and I want to stick with this team. So let's sim the rest of the season, and let's see how we do. Will we make the playoffs for the first time in franchise history, guys? I really, really, really hope so. As the game just takes forever to load. All right, so a couple more trades. Werenski was traded to Minnesota. Interesting. But yeah, okay. Oh man, again, we're still right around that top 8, top 9 in the league. Wow, Minnesota is having a great year. They're having a President's Trophy winning year, and they just got Zach Werenski. That's pretty huge. Now let's sim the first 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, because I want to just see how those lines are doing. If they make it better, if they make it worse. I mean, we're 2 for 2 on points so far. 3 games in a row we've gotten points. We lose to Vancouver, but obviously you can't win them all. We lose to San Jose as well, though. Winnipeg we also lose to. We lose to 3 Western Conference teams, which I don't mind losing to the Western Conference teams, but I would like to beat the Eastern Conference teams, which, for the most part, we were able to do so. So, not looking like McKinnon's going to be hitting 50 this year, though, unless he has a crazy end to the season. But, I mean, Terrence Cross was at, 51 points? 7 games, he has 4 points, which isn't too bad. Mantha was at 44, I believe. He's up to 49, so again, pretty good. And then Pillman was at, I'm actually not sure what Pillman was at. He's got the exact same point totals as last season, though, currently. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, Patrick Pillman hopefully will still grow on that third line. I really hope he can. I think he'll be able to. But there we go, guys. I'm okay with these lines. Let's finish the simulation of this season, and let's see if we make the playoffs. I mean, we'd have to royally fuck ourselves if we were to miss out on the playoffs. But as long as we win a couple games, we should be fine. So again, winning against Eastern Conference teams are huge right now, and we pretty much only have Eastern Conference matchups for the rest of the season. On a 3-game losing streak, all to Eastern Conference teams right now, though, which isn't good. We're still in a playoff position. We are losing too many games, though. Are we actually about to choke this? Okay, I mean, we're still in a playoff position, but we're losing way too many games right now. We're on like a 5-game losing streak. 87 points is obviously still enough to have a playoff position right now, but we are in a very bad position. Like, we need to make sure we win, like, 2 of these games. Like, we can lose to Anaheim, but that's it. We have to beat Philly here. All right, let's see what happens here as we slow sim against Philly. 2 goals, great start. 3-1, and we beat Philly. Okay, that's a huge game. That's a huge win, because we're not too far away from clinching a playoff spot now. We still haven't, though. Like I said, if we lose a game, it is okay to lose to Anaheim, but we cannot lose to any of the Eastern Conference teams because the Bruins are right in it with us. That is going to be the biggest game of this season so far. And as for the Caps, they've already made the playoffs, so it doesn't really bother them. But this next game against the Bruins is huge, so let's see. Can we at least get a point here against Anaheim? That is very, very much needed. Ryan Strome, you fucking beast. Anthony Mantha, let's go. All right, that's another win. That might be enough to clinch the playoffs. Maybe again, this Bruins game is gonna be huge, and we clinched the playoffs, guys. Thank God. First time in franchise history. The Moncton Miist are going to the playoffs. Let's go. All right, so, I mean, the Bruins have a wild card spot, but it's up to the Bruins and Maple Leafs. I mean, Maple Leafs have 1 game, Bruins have 2 games, and they're a point above the Leafs right now. So I'm a Leafs fan. Let's stomp on the Bruins here. Let's get the Leafs into the playoffs. I say that now. They'll make the playoffs, and we'll lose to them. Let's go. Patrick Pillman and Terrence Cross, you beast. Fuck you, Boston. Sean Monahan, who? Okay, that was actually pretty close, but our rookies, well, not our rookies, but our young guns getting 2 goals each, which is great. And hopefully that will push Boston out of a spot while Toronto moves up. We shall see, though. Toronto, they need to win, and they haven't played yet. It's coming down to the last day of the season. Oh, I hope they're playing each other. That'd be sick. Oh, and Boston clinches the spot. Toronto, yeah, they got 1 point, I believe, but they needed to win. They needed to win that game while Boston loses. And then our last game of the season against the Caps, we also win. So we end the season out on a winning streak, which I can't complain about. And we will be playing, I believe, Tampa. Yeah, Tampa in the first round, which is pretty damn exciting. Finally, for the first time in franchise history, we have made the playoffs, and I am very, very happy about that. Finishing 3rd in our division, and let's go check the East. We finished 5th in the Eastern Conference, which overall isn't too bad. And we finished, where are we? We finished 10th in the league. So not a bad season by any means. Pretty happy about that. Finally, man, I'm so happy we finally made the playoffs. I mean, if this team had missed the playoffs, I would have actually thrown my controller through the wall because this team is just great. Like, McKinnon obviously led the way with 88 points, Donato with 71. You can't complain about that. Ryan Strome with 70 as well. Rupe Hintz with 68. Terrence Cross with 66. A 30-goal year for him. Patrick Pillman, 56 points. Still better than last season, which is nice. He improved. I mean, just so many points from our players. Pareko and Shea with a combined 63 points, so that top pair didn't do too bad. Obviously, we don't have that elite, defensive, defensive force, I should say. So, only two 30-goal scores this year, one 40-goal scorer, obviously, with McKinnon, but we had a couple 20-goal scores. Donato was one off, Cirelli and Strome were two off, so that's pretty good. Most assists goes to Ryan Strome and Ryan Donato, so the two Ryans on the team, both with 52 points. And our highest plus minus was Anthony Mantha at a plus 19, or at least forward wise. Defensively, though, let's take a look. So everyone got hit the double digits. I was kind of expecting Pesce and Broberg to both hit around the 20-point mark, but they ended up slowing down offensively and defensively. They obviously both finished in the minuses, but most goals on our team defensively goes to Brendan Gooley. Most assists to Brady Shea, and obviously most points to Brady Shea as well. Highest plus minus is Colton Pareko with a plus 9. And our goaltending, not great out of either of them. Sogard, not bad as a backup, to be fair, but Michael DiPietro did not have good stats, which kind of sucks. And then taking a look at our rookies, Broberg was our only rookie this year, and of course Sogard. But so not too bad. Let's go take a look at the entire league. We might as well. I'm not going to do the playoffs this year, so yeah, 104 point tie between Matthews, Kuznetsov, and McDavid. That's pretty crazy. Kuznetsov and McDavid tied for the exact same points, goals, and assists. Most goals goes to Saga and Laine, tied with 51. I think that's Laine's second or third season over the past. It's second in a row or second in the last 3 seasons that he's going to tie for the Maurice Richard, I think. Most assists goes to Casey Middlestat. Damn, pretty good out of him. Highest plus minus was Vitaly Abramov with a 47. That's unreal. Kevin Fiala, a beast, 42. And checking out forwards, I guess. So obviously, 400-point guys this year defensively. Erik Karlsson was 75. Ekman Larsson 74. So 70-point scores as defenseman this season. Drew Doughty with the only 20-goal scorer from a defenseman. Goaltending, let's see, Martin Jones, 43 wins, best stats, so let's see. Looks like it might have been Freddie Anderson. Sergei Bob, actually. I mean, his win-loss ratio was awful, but he had the best save percentage in the league. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, Allmark was pretty good as well, I guess, to be fair. Let's take a look at let's take a look at rookies around the league. Brad Lambert was 65, and I mean, Aino Kuta, who was the first overall franchise player that Pittsburgh drafted, 59 points in his rookie season is not bad by any means. Rookie goalies, anyone that was actually good, that Wade Stewart guy, I believe. I think that was his name. Wyatt Stewart, sorry. He was pretty good as a backup goalie. He played a lot of games, so starter, split the starting role with Carey Price over Montreal, Dmitry Kolosov. Yeah, but that'll be everything for this episode, guys. I'm not going to do the playoffs. I'm going to do the playoffs in the next episode, but I'm very excited for that. Let's just quickly take a look at what the Tampa Bay Lightning look like. We might as well just get a general idea. Taylor Radish at an 88 with Braden Point at a 90, and Barre Boulet, who won the Calder not too long ago, at an 85. So pretty good team. I think he won the Calder. I'm assuming that year, but 53 points, obviously. I mean, he's got a minimum of 53 points in every year that he's played, which is pretty damn good. Tampa, they're just an unreal team, obviously. Kucherov still at a 93, Stamkos at an 88. He's starting to drop off, but I mean, still a point per game player the past 3 seasons. As for Cooch, let's take a look. Uh, Pretty much point per game every year. Yeah, I mean he's just such a beast. He actually has 1,000 points now. That's actually crazy. I love Kucherov so much. And then Yanni Gord, who's on that second line as well. Then we've got Brett Seney with Victor Rask, who actually kind of resurged his career, um, or is a bit of a resurgence to his career, which is good because he's like a 79, I think. So pretty good from him. And then Garnet Hathaway. Then the third line or fourth line is three big boys, and Boris Kachuk, Mark Jankowski, and Julian Gauthier. I mean, this is actually a pretty big team, although so are we. Defensively, that top pair is going to be hard to deal with. Victor Hedman, obviously, a 91 overall. This past season put up 56 points, and Mikhail Sergachev, an 89 overall, 51 points. So that's a pretty damn good top pair. And then Dylan Coughlin, maybe? I'm not sure how you say that name, actually, with Vladislav Gavrikov. So it really falls off after that top pair, but Ryan McDonough has really fallen off. He's still putting up 20 points, I guess, but he's quite low. And Cal Foote didn't really. I mean, to be fair, he should probably be a medium top four. I was going to say he didn't really pan out, but he should probably have a better potential. And obviously, they still have Vasilevsky in net, who had a pretty down season this year. Obviously, had that tremendous year not too long ago, but yeah, I mean, all the pieces are still there in Tampa. They have a pretty damn good team, and I'm very excited to see how things go in the next episode. We obviously have to face Stanley Cup champions in this next episode. So, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully, you did enjoy. Tune in for the next episode where we will be making the playoffs for the very first time, or we'll be competing in the playoffs for the very first time, and I am very, very excited for that. So, again, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully, you did enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.